Welcome. It's the OA Dynasty Forum.
Oh, yes.
My name is Tolu.
And my name is Anthony.
And together we have
OA Dynasty.
On this platform, we talk about process to success. And today we're going to be speaking about real life experience of one immigrant thriving in Newfoundland, Canada.
For the most part of my life, I was afraid of the concept of wealth. Because I had a set of parents who had it and they lost a lot. And we had to suffer. See, I suffered. Sometimes you speak good English. Forget, I went to public school. But there were things that I needed to do by myself, which is building myself by force, because I saw examples of people I've been competing with, and I knew that I either thrive or crash. So at least can I do myself a bit of a favor by building capacity? So that it's not like I'm making it easy for God, but I'm making it easy for myself, because God will have to crush me, remold me. So let me people be doing the molding and a bit of the remolding and shaping and reshaping by myself, such that maybe I'm helping God.
This is very, very instructive.
So I never had it easy. By the time, I think my first year was when I last had some serious level of support. From 200 level, I practically trained myself through university. But at least at the time, university was still affordable. You forget what I mean, back in Nigeria, you could still find a way. So what did this lead me into? I sold phones. I sold computers. I learned the saxophone, so I would play at parties on weekends so I could make money. I was singing. I joined dance group, we dance for money. I wrote for people to collect money. So all the circumstances, I had a choice.
Yeah.
To, see better of myself. And that's one other thing. In every of the pain that I've ever gone through in life, I always saw people in myself. It gets better. Particularly, seeing being at a disadvantage as a strength and not as a weakness. That, hey, look, I may not have been raised by parents who were rich, who were well-to-do, particularly because they lost all things they had as we grew. But at least there are people who had perhaps zero hope than I did.
Yeah.
And it all started from having to drop out of secondary school. And I had to work for like 3 years. And in that direction of working for 3 years, I was a salesman. I was selling in the store, in the cosmetic store, we climb ladder, we set everything together. That's how I picked a bit of my French as well, because it wasn't in Nigeria. Right? So now today, I've got the multilingual MC, I speak fluent French. I hated that background of me having to drop out of school, but the 3 years out of school was what helped me build foundation in French.
Wow.
That is serving me too.
Wow.
So it's a mess to message factor.
Wow. Mess to message.
Right? So I knew you needed to cut in. Well, I felt like I needed to piece a bit of those things together, because if I want to just talk about all the things of my life, it would be difficult to capture.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll bring out how one has become a win as I talk about the problem. And that's how you find every little pieces of my life working together. And I never wanted to go back to school. I didn't think I'd go back to school. There was one person in my church, as I was serving there, I started out playing bass guitar back in church before I eventually learned saxophone back in Cote d'Ivoire in Ivory Coast. Right? And
is that where you grew up?
So I went back. I was born there, but I was in Nigeria since I was 9 months old. I went again. I came back at 7, and I never went back again until 2004.
Okay.
So I spent 3 years and came back in 2007. And eventually got admission to the university in 2009. So I still stayed home. I did a couple of jams. But eventually, thank God for how far we come. So the idea is when I was learning the bass guitar, I was always committed. And again, how committed will you be so that people will see more about you than what you do? That's why I don't like committing to things, because when I commit,
it's done.
I hold myself to that.
Yeah.
I didn't do it. I can't, because for me it's a fail, it's a minus. Whether you fail people or you fail, I fail myself. So I don't want to commit. I was consistent in church. To the point that the teacher, who was an expert teacher from Nigeria, and I because so he was a choir master. He said, "Hey Paul, did you ever go to school?" I said, "Yes, but I speak." He said, "You speak good English?" "Yes, I did." And I just dropped out. There was no money. He said, "You can go back. Education is not that expensive as people think. There's no money, there's no this." I said, okay. I said, "But I've left over 2 years now. What will I do? I don't even know what to do with my life." They said, "Don't worry. I will teach you. I will take you lessons." I think every evening then we got it to 3 times a week, free of charge. Let's even see where your strength is. And let's see how you want to position your life. One person says, so God will send people into our life. The question is, what do they think of us for them to be willing to stretch? I mean, this is an expert. He didn't come all the way leaving his country to work for free. He had lessons he took that people paid him. But he saw me and said, "You could." He saw more because I was reflecting light in the little that he knew about. And even this lesson didn't last more than 3 months until I caught fire by myself. And I could push myself. And that was the beginning. I went back to nursing, started to read, "Hey, Dad, I'm going to Nigeria next year. I'm going to go to school. Hey, there's no money. Don't worry. I'm going to go and I will survive." Already. So how much? Because I started telling myself I had siblings who were doing this business. As a matter of fact, I have siblings who are successful in business. But I wanted education. But someone, sparked. And then I took up the light. I took the action. And on, and today we are here. So a bit of a rough background. But the 3 things I would say I've helped me in the journey. I've been open. I've been open to the possibilities that my destiny carries, regardless of what my background looks like, regardless of my handicapability with resources, with finance, with connections, with influence, with parents who were today. I mean, for parents who didn't have education, it will be tough, even if they wanted to do, let alone maybe they wish but lack the capacity to push. But here is the shock. When I graduated from a bachelor, 2 full 80-seater bus, another, I think 8, that's corruption. Okay.
To celebrate.
Wow. Success.
As my friends.
That's my friends.
Including the friends of the families. I mean, success will make friends of your families who didn't see possible. So for yourself, and for maybe the people that would hear your story and say, because of X, I did Y, and today I have ABC. Please, don't give up. Regardless of that lack of capacity, what would you see in yourself that's beyond what people can ever comprehend? Every single afternoon I've taken from leaving a government job that everybody wants, it's full-time job, to living and moving into Lagos with a place, to move as a business analyst to Lagos where anybody can fire you at any time.
Yeah.
People find, what are you doing? You have salary, you have we get mortgage, for them it was measurable. When it's little and it's okay, it's fine. So I've had to take risks. There is no fear. Why? Because for the initial phase of my life, in fact, I started my career fearfully. I had a federal job. How much did they pay? People just like this so-called security. And then I saw another one to work as a sales agent in a multinational. It was not all this, carry something in your back and start sharing. No. But out of fear of sales, I left that would have paid me around 140 or 140,000 to start, to choose 86,000 because one was safe, the other one. And today, I needed to embrace that same fear that I left. More like 5 years later, I saw that this one is not getting me anywhere. Please find that cash. No, that's not the kind of life. And then that was the difference. So would you embrace fear? would you see more of yourself? And hopefully, the 3G factor will now work for you. You know, the God to take action. Because to even dream, it takes God to dream more. To leave everything you know and just dream. And then take action on hard things. And then grit. Because every great thing you want to do, they'll be hard.
Yeah. Nothing comes.
So the grit to keep going when the journey is hardest. And then the grace of God that's above all else.
Yeah.
Because you see, there's no amount of effort you put into it. There's no amount of people you reach out to. There is an energy, there's a force that you can never explain that pieces things together for you. And somehow, you now think that your God and your grace makes sense.
Yeah.
Don't let your background
Lay your
put your back on the ground. No matter how, no matter how messy it is, God can change any mess to a message. And that is what we've heard directly from Mr. Akingbola.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was really, really, valuable, and I trust God that many who have heard this today will be blessed, right? So I wanted to ask you, looking at all this, what would you say to, we have a generation of people who just want things fast. They're looking at you
Micro generation.
yes, and they just want to have all that you have now, but they're not willing to go through all that. Can you briefly just say one or two, something to them, probably to just push them or encourage them? And we're not trying to say that it has to be all bad before it can become good. No.
Yeah.
But what we are saying is that there will be a process, and your own process might be different from his, but everyone has a process. It is constant.
Yeah.
So can you please say something to them, and then I think after we can come to just say something.
If you take action into conviction, you either fail or win. Bearing in mind that failure is even a success. Because a bit of the fails over time are built up for me knowing the things I cannot do in life.
Yes.
And you see, people think that if you know what to do, that's when you succeed. Sometimes success and progress is a function of knowing what to do, what not to do, and when to do or not to do.
Yeah.
So how do we learn if you don't make mistakes? How do we learn if we don't take risks? So today my word to you will be convinced by your conviction. Forget what people say. Their initial response is, it is not possible. There are several examples. How did it feel when we were going to shoot your first? When you told the first people you will start a YouTube channel, I don't know the story, but I cannot imagine what I did to you. But I knew your YouTube video before I met you.
Yeah.
That's true.
So your message has gone far. I remember so vividly well that in my, I think the second week of getting to Newfoundland, at church, no, I think in my third week, I was there at the event, and I saw a sister. Hey, excuse me, what's your name? I'm sorry. Please. I said, yes, I didn't know you are here. I said, I just came. He said, hey, that I watched your video. So we had a marriage interview, my wife and I. Some months before we traveled, and the lady had watched the video in preparation for our wedding with her husband. And then some of the vulnerabilities we shared there, she said, those things helped us sit down and have the hardest conversations. If we had chosen
Not to do that.
back in 2016 to not marry, because the lady said they were sweet, I think we should wait. But we were saying you could do it if you dot your hand
Across the T's.
and if you have had conversation and plan. So everything you're going to do, people will tell you it's not possible.
Yeah.
And everything you will do, today, the word trivialize people's success. It's hard for people to tell you, wait, I'm still working with already. You've if 100 persons see it, if you hear one person tell you today, there's at least 99 that want to tell you that they didn't care.
Yeah.
And 9 that want to tell you, but they just didn't tell you.
Yeah.
So which means that we live in a world where people's success is trivialized,
Yeah.
particularly when it's not flashy. And even when it's flashy, they, umbrella it to his privilege. She's privileged.
Like, that's so powerful.
And that's the way it works. So my word to anyone out there is take action whatever it feels like, however it feels like, however hard it feels like, with your heart fully convinced that it's going to succeed. And even when it doesn't, know fully well that it's not succeeding in itself is a form of success, because all things work together for those who love the Lord.
Thank you so much, Mr. Paul. It's been an amazing episode today.
Amazing.
But before we round up, I just want him to, add 1 or 2 spices to this soup. You mentioned that you advise people not to give up. But it's very difficult to just say it. What are the practical things that we should put into? You've told us your story. We saw how you transitioned from Ilorin to Lagos, from Lagos to Newfoundland, Canada. A lot of people are there looking to go through that path, but they are on the verge of giving up. They don't know what the future holds. They are tired. They are discouraged by naysayers. They want to give up. What advice?
My advice would be that you should give up. Please give up.
Did you just say that?
No, I really meant it.
Okay.
Don't worry, give up.
Okay.
Give up. Because when you give up, at least you see to yourself that you've given up. Because I mean, if I'm being very honest, I have given up too at a point. I think the world of motivation sometimes is so glamorized that we think that it's so easy even for your motivators. And motivators have coaches.
Yeah.
You have where you pick energy from.
Yeah.
You have where you dream from.
Yeah.
I have where I dream from. I have where I drink from, rather. I have who I learn from. There are points in my life where I feel like, what's going on? I came in here, it felt like it was easy. There are times where I asked God, why me?
How many for that?
So I think you should give yourself the validation, the permission to give up, but for a while.
Give up or don't give up. Is that
For a while. Because I knew that shock would sort of validate what you're thinking. But I'm here to distort your mental configuration. The idea is give up, at least for a while, and see which one pays. Because we can decide to either choose mediocrity or choose excellence. If at the time things were not working, I mean, I got into Canada, I got a big 4 job. Everybody says, oh, I'm not special. But when I was being served the breakfast, I could have given up. I could have. But at the times, there were days I woke up and I gave up because I felt like, what is it? So I just, okay, let's go Netflix for a while. For the next 3 days. But the question is, I cannot, in my person, I'm not a movie, but see, the things that I'm choosing, that's why people need to know themselves. It's the only way they can get to deal with themselves better. I know when I'm running low on energy. And I know what to do. Because I have a wife who will never let me wallow in that. Who are your friends? Who is your spouse? Who are your siblings? What do they feed you with? Do you have friends that will tell you, okay, let's meet downtown today because you're depressed? Or you will meet friends who will say, okay, I think I saw one YouTube video of one person's life who was transformed from hopelessness into a extreme level of impact.
Wow.
Who are your friends? Who are your companions? Who are your relationships? Who are in your network?
Who is in your corner?
What do they do to you? Do you leave them better or you leave them worse? Again, there are people today who the only people that some people get called by is Alpha. There's a party team.
and you're not an MC. If they call you, there's a party.
See,
That's good.
I always say this. I am an extrovert, but I can be extremely introverted. To the point that if you see me at an event, if I'm not hosting it, it is 0.1% chance that I'm not hosting that event. If you see me at an event, I don't really like going to it. I like my little opportunity to just sit down. My thinking pattern is so annoying to myself that I could sit for hours. I'm just scribbling, I'm just typing things, thoughts, ideas. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? What will I do next? So if I have the opportunity to sit, I would rather sit than wear clothes and go to party. Because of course, when we go to events, right, we discharge, you entertain people, you make people happy. So what do I refill? Taking us back to where we started from. You have to recharge. So for me, I would say, because I really want to answer the question, but I need people to get it. Let yourself give up sometimes, because even the most motivated people come to a point where, because if really success will keep you going, why do successful people commit suicide?
Because there's always something to aspire.
There's always more.
There's always more.
Successful people commit suicide. Successful people lose everything. Successful people are sad in their marriage and they have all the money. And you're happy with their life. In fact, it is all their life, all they have in life that you ever desire.
I think it all boils down to the definition we started with.
With success.
What is success?
So, because of I have always known from over 7 years ago that there are several destinies hanging on my shoulder. And if for nothing, I have to keep going for these people. Which is why, in my hardest times, I will write books. Because that I do not have one thing I can't write about does not mean I do not have another thing that I could write about that people can learn from. And that's what I need you to take away with you. You may not have all the clothes, you may not have all the money, you may not have that glamorized job. But again, if you are depressed about the current job, how do you do even the next one? Because, see, scientifically proven, except it's something your passion is inclined about, you need to do it for just 2 months to be bored by it. But things change. I have done jobs I hate. Where's the job to? But I've been hungry at the job too. But I have put in my best. Knowing fully well that it only gets better. So, give up when you're tired. But make sure, only for a while of you resting, you're back up. Because your success will be a validation for several people you may never meet. Because that's my case too.
Wow, that's a very, very, good way to kind of just pause and reflect. Even as host to this particular episode, we are going to go back to listen, because there's so much value in what we've heard today. And I trust that God will use all that has been said today to make transformation in your life. So if you have been blessed in any way, don't be blessed alone. Make sure you share with your network.
Yeah, don't be selfish. Share. There is lot of sharing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is like, for me, I think I now know the reason why it was impressed upon our hearts to actually break you. Because of course, it's not everybody can pray.
And while we are closing this, I just want to drive this point home that outside God, we are nothing.
Yes.
And he mentioned something that no matter how big your gut or your spirit is, you need the God factor for you to break through. So we're just telling everybody out there, if you don't have the God factor, You can have all the materials and not have the joy that comes with the material. So please, if you want to, you are at the verge of giving up, we advise you to
Take a pause.
give it up by taking a pause. And what that means is put it in the hands of God. God will pick you up from wherever you are. He will make your mess to become a message. And on this note, we want to thank everybody for staying tuned and want to appreciate Mr. Paul for sharing gems, knowledge from his knowledge bank. This man is loaded. And we'll put his contact in the comment section in case you are in Newfoundland. You want to, you want to engage his service. You will sort that with him.
And I think you mentioned your book as well. So if you
Yes, it's a book, yes.
To your book,
You get it.
that's in the description.
The title of that book is NC.
And I have a free book as well, called Super Living. So if you're thinking about giving up, it's a season of my life where I almost gave up. On God, on life, on everything. We will all get there sometime until we realize that because we didn't give up that time, we will never try to give up again. So all of the lessons that I learned around that time, I put in the book called Super Living. How to be happy every day. The book was written, I think, 7 years ago. It was in 2018. 2018. 5 years ago. Yeah. So that was when I wrote the book, and it's a free book, it's an e-book. So I also shared it, and I hope that I'm a storyteller, so I gave it a story. With each story, just driving home the point. And I hope that this is someone out there. Because you don't do anyone any favor by giving up or being included.
You're not even doing yourself any good.
By giving up. One part of the book I said, no bloom comes out of gloom. What it means is nobody wants to talk to you when you are
downcast.
This positive energy is contagious. And I think when I realized that, I'm able to put aside my hobby and have a bit of the possibilities in my life reflecting over me. Because whether I like it or not, my wife and I were in an argument that someone like Barack Obama, what does he want in life? The first black man to ever be American president. And even several years after being president, it's more relevant now. It's still relevant. So what else could you ever want? And then we realized that
there's a void in everywhere.
Because he was not being president at 50 years. Somebody else, Bill Sanders, Bernie Sanders, started a new business at 60. Or is it 65? So the president was done at 50.
And if only what Joe Biden is getting to president at what age?
So there was always that for them. There was always what to do. The day I realized that, my life changed to the point that I believe more than I get to doubt. I do more than I get to worry. It is me, my duty is to do. It is God's to finish it. So if you're ever trying to give up, I hope that the book helps you for super living, how to be happy every day, how to be happy and prosperous every day. And I hope that
we get that link as well. And most importantly, we would like to let you know that you are gloomy and downcast because you are defining success wrongly. And if you can sit down in retrospect, you will see that you are even successful. You are alive. To be alive is huge success because you can only hope if you are alive. And I want to end here by telling you that you are already enough. What you need to get to where you should be, God has already given it to you. Link back to God, your creator, and think inwardly. Be open. Let people around you help you. Surround yourself with those who can help you, not those who can kill you. And God Almighty will bless you.
Amen.
All right, we've come to the end of this amazing session.
Because I think we should not.
I know.
Just giving us last
All right. So if you're here to subscribe, make sure you hit the subscribe button.
How can you hear all these things? And not support our ministry.
God bless you for doing
You don't
that.
want your charger to not work.
Yeah, somebody just subscribe. God bless.
Yes.
God bless. Yes, you. Yeah, God bless you.
God bless you.
Until we come your way next time. This is Oye Dynasty saying bye.
Style is the answer to everything.